Alright, what's up everybody? Don't have anyone here in here yet, but this is round 4, JGR ESX. About to get the first 250 main of the night for the Triple Crown format underway. Alright, looks like everyone is joining up here. And we got everyone in here, sweet. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get it started. This is 250 A main, the first one of the night, first of 3. It's going to be a medium length race, which I believe for 250 is 10 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's 10 for 250 and 12 minutes for 450. A couple benefits of doing it this way rather than all 3 back to back is if someone lags out, they can still be in the second or third race with no complications trying to rejoin. And then also too kind of gives everyone a little break in between main events. You can either pop in the stream, watch a little bit, or just kind of get a minute to recoup before the next one. So Indy 1 saw some interesting qualifying times. A couple guys that struggled a little bit more than usual. But nonetheless, it's going to be a really good race tonight. Got a good A main here. A lot of the same guys we saw running last week. Let's see. I think it was, Supite back-to-back wins in the last 2 rounds. We'll see if he can keep it going tonight. Give us everyone a second here to ready up if they need to. Looks like that is just about good. Alright, we're going to drop the gate. Main event 1. 250 class. Let's get it going. Let's go on board with last week's winner, Supite. Rocking what I believe is that Team PHSP racing kit. Oh, and it is going to be Shooter out of the gate. Oh, he's going to get shoved but holds on to it. Really good start for Shooter, who definitely has the speed to win a race if he can find some room. It's going to be Mr. Twister in the second position for real, and third, the Audacity in fourth. Supite 5th, Skur 6th, Tackman, JGR Team Fried Rider in 7th. Got that second and final transfer spot in the LCQ. We got Pressure Applier back here, JGR D-Dub in 8th. Dropping down to the 250 class. Oh, as he's, wow, unreal pass there. Goes off track, but he really squared him up nicely. Got Air Jordan, who's your points leader back here in the 9th position right now. I'm sure he has plenty of time and definitely the capability to get back up to the front. But that's going to definitely make the night interesting. D-Dub's falling back now, and Tiber 1 back here in the 12th spot. So back up to the front, For Real is your new leader. Mr. Twister is going to cut on the inside. Nice clean pass there by him. We're going to watch, it looks like For Real and the Audacity, teammates here. Going to try to stick with Mr. Twister. See if they can keep his pace. Ooh, they're a little antsy. Looks like they're trying to go for a pass early. Ooh, bouncing around. Might need to settle in here, otherwise they're going to cost each other. Ooh, second, third, and fourth, all teammates here going at it. Shooters trying to get back in this battle. Ooh, and this is a really tight spot with 3-4 wide. But everyone's staying pretty clean. Ooh, who is that? For Real goes down. Shooter's going to climb into that 4th spot now. We got Audacity still holding strong in 3rd, and Supite trying to latch on to Mr. Twister here. Plenty of time in this main event. 8 minutes. First main event of the night. So really just putting in the best result you can. Obviously you have time to make it up later in the night, but really for these guys, if they could get a podium effort here in the first one, we'll set them up for a good overall result. So let's go down the field here and see what we got going on. We got For Real still in the 5th spot. Air Jordan has worked his way up from dead last to 6th place, and he is charging on that KTM 125. Tackman still holding down the 7th spot. JGR D-Dub coming from 10th in 8th, picking up a couple positions. Pressure Applier 9th, Mad Matt 10th, Skirt 11th, Tiber 1 still back there in 12th, giving it his best effort. Looks like he might have gone down, fallen off the pace just a little bit. Supite is out front, not quite sure if Mr. Twister went down. Mr. Twister going to try to sneak in the inside here. It's a really tight turn. Oof. And nice clean pass there. A little bit of a block pass, but you like to see it. Supite going to go around the outside here, try to get a good drive under the tunnel. Audacity's really still running this pace in the 3rd position. I believe got 7th in the main event last week, so looks like put a little work in, got a little bit more seat time this week, came out firing. Oh, hops off to the left there, going to get reset. It's going to allow Air Jordan to sneak in that 3rd spot. So what do we have here? We have our same top 3 from last week. Frankie Hernandez, we don't stream the B main only because we don't have the capability to do both at the same time. So typically the B main is just ran by either someone on our team or whoever is able to host it, and the results will still be calculated. Alright, Audacity trying to latch on to this podium group here as we go back to Shooter on the Team Twisted Yoshimura team. Solid effort in the 5th position as he kind of grabs a tough block there. It's going to allow For Real to go by. JGR D-Dub, 7th place. Looks like he got around his teammate here. He is putting in a good effort, picking up a couple spots later in this main event. Tackman still holding on a good 8th place position here. And then the back of the pack's kind of staying the same here. So we're going to go back up to the front. Supite still holding it down. He's kind of putting a little bit of a gap here, at least some insurance on 2nd and 3rd place here. Twister's going to hold that inside line. Gotcha, Frankie. Sorry about that, man. We do try to get everyone in the right class accordingly. There must have been some sort of error, but I do apologize. Not a lot of changes in the field here. Everyone's kind of got some space. D-Dub is looking to latch on to For Real here. Grab that 6th spot. I know talking to D-Dub earlier in the day, he said a top 5 in the first main was where he wanted to be to kind of set himself up for a good night. So we'll see what he's able to do here. Tackman in the 8th position. Still everyone running steady. Nice little train in the back of the pack here. Hopefully some clean battles get rolling. Let's see if the leaders are coming up on anyone as Mr. Twister has grabbed the lead. Not quite sure. I need to start going away from this lead group. Not sure if he went, if Supite went down or if Twister just made up a little bit of time. But this battle continues to go on every week with these 3. But overall, the whole pack staying pretty close. Looks like only the whole field covering about 2 to 3 rhythms here. Don't think they're coming up on any lap riders as of yet. Tiber 1 in 11th going under the bridge jump, so got a little bit of time. Mr. Twister controlling this thing still. Supite in second, Air Jordan right there in third. It's almost like these guys are just running identical lap times, not making a lot of mistakes, so it makes for really good racing. The Audacity, I'm really impressed by this ride. This is a lot of improvement from the last 2 weeks, so I don't even think that they made the main, in round 2. Round 3, 7th place, and to be charging up here in the 4th position, right behind these leaders early. It's a good ride. We got For Real 5th, Pressure Plier, who's worked his way up from the 9th spot. He was in that little train in the back of the pack there, but finding something that the other guys aren't. Shooter in the 7th spot, D-Dub in 8th, so dropped down 1 spot, but still where he wants to be. Just gotta put some solid laps together. Commentator's curse there as he hits a hay bale. Back of the pack, still staying just about the same. Mr. Twister, ooh, and Jordan going at it. I'm sorry, that was Jordan and Supite. Jordan in the 2nd spot now, trying to latch on to Mr. Twister, but Mr. Twister has put himself a nice little gap at the front of the pack here. Ooh, and that is a bummer deal. I don't think that was intentional on Supite's part as he goes down. Kind of overjumped that bridge jump and just bottomed out. That's a bummer for Jordan, who was right there. It's going to allow Mr. Twister to open up about a 5 to 6 second gap, which if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say he's going to be able to kind of coast this one in, barring no huge mistakes. Supite and Air Jordan still going at it. Going to keep an eye on this battle here, make sure everything's staying clean at the front of the pack. Ooh, Audacity's going to hit that little inside and kick wide. It's going to allow For Real, the teammate, to slide up. Shooter, solid effort in 6th. Kind of been all over the place in this main event, but he's holding off for a solid result here. Back up to the front with 1 minute to go. Still Mr. Twister in control of this thing. Supite in the 2nd spot. Air Jordan 3rd. This is going to be the battle we stick to right here. Air Jordan, your points leader, knows he needs to have a good showing tonight. Very stacked 250 class. I know the goal is a championship for him, so the Audacity still holding down the 4th spot. Back up to your leader up front, see what he's doing, Mr. Twister. Gonna have 2 to go, including this lap. Going to be 1 lap to go for Mr. Twister here. Solid first main event for your top guys in points here, showing why they have those 3 spots in points. The Audacity and For Real going at it back here for the 4th spot. Air Jordan is right on the back of Supite here. Gonna see if he can't nab 2nd at the last second here. Oh, as he gets kicked left, that's gonna get him reset, unfortunately. He needs to be careful as he's got For Real and Audacity and striking distance. But we have Mr. Twister is gonna take home main event number 1 in the 250 class. Supite in the 2nd position. Air Jordan, not a bad ride in 3rd, still 2 main events to go. For Real in 4th, Audacity is going to be in the top 5, solid showing. Shooter in the 6th spot. Sword, I totally agree with you, man. Awesome ride for Twister. Good to see it. Appreciate the good vibes, man. Good racing here tonight so far. Looking forward to the rest of the main events. All right, so first one is in the books, and we're on to the 450 class after this. Mr. Twister, we're alternating between 250 and 450 class. So your 250 A main number 2 will be after 451. All right, we have excuse me, I can't do math. All 12. Oh, Vivid left. I'm going to allow him to join back in, but then we'll get started with this 450 main number 1. Axis on the Yamaha. Yep, got to get ready for the ESX, I'm assuming. Mad respect for sure. Not quite sure what happened to Vivid here. Giving him a second to rejoin, but we won't wait up too long. Apparently he's restarting his game. He should be loading back in right now. Appreciate everyone's patience. The Yamaha or the Lamaha, I don't know, bro. Come on, Vivid. Alright, Vivid's in. We're going to get this thing started. Appreciate everyone's patience. Frankie B mains. Technically, you know, you guys can run one now if you'd like. We don't have an admin available just because everyone's racing at the moment. But if you wanted to host a B main, the B main lobby is on our Instagram page and in our Discord. Then you could always just send us the results after. I would just do one full realistic length main event, and then your results will be calculated with the rest of the A main. If not, we'll just go off of qualifying times for points. Alright, 450 main event 1. Gonna give everyone a second here to ready up. Got a pretty good field of racers here tonight. Toxic Stench is actually our Dizzle. A couple of the G Fuel boys coming back from round 4. So, alright, everyone's readied up. Let's get this thing going. Alright, let's go on board with Xerox here. Ooh, and it's actually going to be PSHP Mike to the turn first, but Axis, the GOAT, out front on the Yamaha. Gonna have Cheeseheads in the second spot. Samwow. Ooh, Samwow fell back just as I said his name. I'm Xerox in the third spot. PSHP Mike in fourth. Sammy YZB, your defending champion. Typical Sam move there to not wear the number 1. But nonetheless, we'll leave it to the man Axis for that. Out front, gapped the field by half of a rhythm already. No doubt he's going to check out. Cheeseheads in second. Sammy YZB up in the third spot now. Looks like him and Xerox did a little flip-flop there. Ooh, Cheese kinda scrubbed cancels underneath Sam there. Looks like some X Games shit. But nonetheless, good racing. Sam's going to go ahead and get around him into that second spot. Xerox working in fourth. Mike is going to go ahead and scrub on past Xerox there. Sam Wow in the sixth spot. Our Dizzle, I don't know if he meant to run the Sexton kit or not, but he's back in that sixth spot right now. Mike's falling back a little bit as TK Owens and Parker are trying to come through the field here. Austin Edwards, last week's winner right here. Yoshimura in the 11th spot. Gonna try to find his way out front early. Not quite sure what happened to him in this main event so far. And then our man JGR Vivid in the 12th place spot. I agree with you there, Twister. If the Yamaha had a little bit more power, I think it would be solid, but nonetheless, I think maybe they'll buff the bike up a little bit for the ESX Championship, but it's also a milestone, so I could be completely wrong. Dizzle's only like Prestige 10. That makes sense. I wasn't even considering that. But nonetheless, he's in the 3rd spot after he was just in 8th. Trying to latch on the cheese here. Again, 3 main events in the Triple Crown format tonight. Ooh! Looks like a typical Chase Sexton move there to maybe wash it out, throw it away, but he holds on to it. Ooh! Cheese goes down. It's going to allow Dizzle and SamWow to get into that 2nd and 3rd spot, but Cheese is still holding on for dear life, trying to run this pace with these boys. Oh, and ZRX, don't think he meant to, was an overshoot there. It's going to land on Cheese. We saw that happen in the 250 main with Supite and Air Jordan. Wouldn't be surprised if we see it a couple more times tonight. Yoshimura up into the 7th spot now. He's got a pack of 5 guys he can see in front of him, so let's see if he can't get up into that podium spot, and that way he at least has a fighting chance. I don't know what quite happened there. It looked like SamWow and Cheeseheads went down right in front of him. It's going to give him the 5th spot. Austin Edwards gets reset, but still holds the inside. So Yoshi is battling in this thing, trying to work his way up. Oh, Austin Edwards. Oof, gotta be careful doing that, but it did work out this time around. Back up to the front, Samuel YZB in your 3rd spot. Looks like Dizzle did get that pass made. And Axis has an absolutely commanding lead out front. Looking pretty solid on this Yamaha. I'd like to think it's probably not as reactive as the Gas, at least on the turns from what he's used to. Gas is very nimble. Definitely Corey's a little bit better in my opinion as he lands deep in that turn. And just kind of watch the big man go to work here. Really smooth again. I said this last week on stream, just hitting his marks. Commanding lead on the field, but you go back second through about 5th is pretty close, and then the rest of the field is bunched up in the back as you kind of go through it here. You got Dizzle, Samuel, and Yoshi all battling it out. Parker's got a little bit of space, a little bit of room to make up. PSHP Mike with a solid effort. Squeaked into the main events tonight. Xerox not going to be happy with this one. I know that he wants to be up there running with those guys and has the speed to do it. Just gotta stay a little bit more consistent in those opening laps, which is tough to do, but I've no doubt he'll bounce back in these next mains. As we go back up front, I see Yoshi's worked his way into the 2nd spot with Dizzle falling back to 4th. Samuel still holding strong in the 3rd position. Axis charging here, make sure he's not catching anybody too close. He's about a rhythm or so off of all these guys, so within a lap I'll probably be warning them all just to make sure they know the leader is coming through. See if Vivid can't pick up a couple positions here. I know he hasn't been on the game as much recently, but in these main events and fighting is all that matters. Back to 2nd now. No point in even seeing the leader out front. He's just in time attack right now, doing his thing. Yoshi in 2nd. Got a little bit of a gap on our Dizzle, so everyone kind of settling into their pace and their spot of the track here. Samuel is going to try to still hang, but he's in the 4th spot. Parker now is working on Samuel. And Xerox back in the 6th spot, and it looks like he's made up a little bit of time. Oh, almost gets reset there. And the back of this field is pretty tight. There's a lot of good battles going around through the field. Vivid looks like he got TK Owens there. We'll go ahead and send these guys a warning. The leader is coming, but really nothing too crazy happened at the front here. It looks like Parker did get Samuel YZB, so that's going to put the two JGR Team Fried riders of Samuel YZB and I'm Xerox in the 5th and 6th spot. Overall good recovery from Xerox there. Sam, I'm sure, would have loved to have been up in that podium group there, but he's still got a little bit of time with Dizzle and Parker in front of him. All it takes is one mistake and he can kind of be a little bit closer to maybe make a pass late in this main event. And that is just blowing my mind right there. That is an absolutely crazy line that Axis is hitting. He's going to start working his way through lap traffic. Obviously not going to be too super crucial for him. Doesn't really have any pressure from behind, at least in this main event. Solid ride by Yoshi, coming from nearly dead last, if I'm not mistaken, to get in the 2nd spot. Yoshi's been absolutely ripping on this game. Really cool to see him get that win last week. So, you know, just depending on what the 2nd and 3rd main hold for him, could be another good night. Dizzle and Parker battling. Oh, let's see what we got here. Parker, who has just kind of been quiet this whole main event, just steadily working his way up, but he snuck his way into the conversation here. He's gonna kind of hold tight in this battle, and Yoshi goes down. That's gonna put 2, 3, and 4 right here with about 2, maybe 3 laps to go. So it's gonna come down to consistency. Who can hold it together, hit their marks, stay out of trouble. Twister, Axis, and Samuel, both not number 1. Samuel, unfortunately, I don't know how you forget this, but forgets to change his number back to the number 1. Doesn't like running it in public lobbies, understandably. And Axis just has earned the right to wear it at all times, to be honest with you. So, oh, and it looks like both Yoshi and Dizzle make a little mistake there. It's going to allow Parker to get into the 2nd spot. Unreal. Really good race by Parker. Glad to see him work his way up. Alright, what is going on here? Mike, can't have you just waiting up, man. Don't want you getting in the way of this battle right now. Parker still holding 2nd down. Or Dizzle in 3rd. Yoshi, unfortunately, in the 4th spot after it looked like he kind of had 2nd in the bag there for a minute. Sam and Xerox in the 5th and 6th spot. Really not too far off of 2 to 6, has stayed pretty close this whole main event. But obviously our man Axis is well out front. And haven't given these guys in the back too much love. Austin Edwards in 7th, Cheeseheads 8th, Sam Wow 9th. Bummer for him, he was out front early. TK Owens 10th, Vivid 11th, and Mike 12th, who's off the track. Thank you, Mike. Alright, so Axis, final lap. Never a doubt in my mind he was going to walk away with this one. He is tossing that Yami. Looking solid. Great ride from Parker here, but he's got Dizzle in tow. Dizzle makes a mistake, holds on to it. That's going to allow Yoshi to kind of sneak up on the back of him. Final lap here. Let's see what these guys do. Parker's got a little bit of space. Let's see how crafty Yoshi is here. He's able to make a pass. Feel a little bit better about getting 3rd. Axis is going to take your win. Oh, and I'm not sure what happened to Yoshi there, but he absolutely died. Alright. Parker. Ooh, Dizzle reels in on the back of Parker, but it looks like... Oh no, Dizzle goes off track. Parker gets second. Still had a little bit of a gap. Yoshi's going to come in fourth. Samuel YZB, who caught the back of that pack, in fifth. Xerox, good recovery there in the sixth spot. What in the world, that's what I'm saying. Not quite sure what happened there, but glad he held on to the third spot. Then we got Cheeseheads 8th, Samwow 9th, TK Owens 10th, Vivid 11th, and PSHP Mike, Jesus, in 12th. Alright, so good first main event there. We saw who you would expect to be out front early, and then some really good battles through the pack there. So we're going to go ahead and get 250 main number 2 underway here. Give us just about 5 minutes, get everyone in, and we'll be back. Alright, invites are out for 250 main 2. The custom lists have been helping a lot. Kind of got a couple things dialed in. I took over doing full-time race directing for the series. Sat racing out. I'm glad I did. It's kind of just made things overall easier. So everyone should funnel in here pretty quickly. I'm going to be interested to see what happens in main event number 2. I know all three of those top guys are hungry to win. But we got some oddballs in there. The Audacity, who I believe was 4th or 5th in that first race and kind of ran that pace the whole main event. And, you know, just interested to see if anyone can mix it up, kind of shake up that top 3. Hopefully everyone's paying attention, waiting for invites. There we go. Sword, I appreciate it, my man. Just trying to get like you on the commentating game. It's been really entertaining to watch you guys and what you're doing over there. So, really appreciate it, man. Tack Man, and then who are we waiting on? Alright, and Supite went ahead and joined up, so we're going to be good to go here. Let's get main event number 2 underway. Let's go Team PSHP, dude. If I don't learn how to say that, I'm going to lose my mind. But cool to see new teams out here in the community. Wasn't too long ago that JGR Team Fried was a new team on the scene. Came around the SX3 days and had to grind and kind of hustle our way into some things. So cool to see people finding some joy and playing games and just cool community. So really excited for a good season. Let's go Twisted Yoshi. Hell yeah. Another good team there. All right, main event number 2, 250 class. 250 class has been super entertaining this year. This was new for us running this league, but we wanted to kind of have an interesting AM situation to where a lot of people that are new to this can come in and you know, kind of have a competitive race and not get blown out of the water. So I'm going to give everyone a second to ready up here, and we're going to get started. Be curious to know who you guys got bets on for main event 2 or even for the overall. Let's hear it. Everyone's readied up. Let's go ahead and get this thing underway. Alright, let's go on board with your main event 1 winner, Mr. Twister. Gonna kind of hit the gate there. Is that Tiber 1? Last place and the first main. Gonna get to the turn first. He wants redemption, but it's gonna be Mr. Twister getting a clean drive, staying out of trouble. Air Jordan on the inside. Who's going to take it first? Samuel taking Air Jordan for the dub. I like that call. It's going to be a good battle down at the end. Air Jordan's going to case that rhythm. It's going to cost him, but holds onto that inside. Twister sneaks around the outside here. We have the Audacity moving into the second spot. Has something to prove, but kind of gets kicked off the track. That's a bummer. It's going to be hard to get back on. Shooter in the second spot. For real third. Air Jordan's fallen back to fourth, unfortunately. I know that's not what he wants. Supite in fifth. Pressure Plier sixth. D-Dub in seventh. Skirt in eighth. Tackman ninth. The Audacity fell back to 10th with that crash. That's really a bummer. Mad Matt 11th. And Tiber 1 grabbed the whole shot, but unfortunately it looks like he went down early. Back up front, Mr. Twister. He's got a pack behind him here. Shooter right on him for real. Air Jordan trying to climb his way back up. He knows these points are crucial tonight. Supite in fifth, but my man D-Dub said, let me take that spot. I'm going to have to warn D-Dub there. I don't think it was intentional, but he did kind of flick skirt off the track there just a bit. Xeric said Twister definitely going to get the first two. It's looking that way right now, but Shooter is not going to give up. Shooter's the type of guy that I know if he gets a start, he can run up there. So I know he's hungry for a win. Hasn't gotten one in a league race yet that I'm aware of. Samuel YZB says D-Dub is a goon. I agree, but I love him. Oh, and we got For Real sneaking on the back here in the third spot. Air Jordan kind of falling off the pace a little bit, but he's got plenty of time. D-Dub in fifth. Really solid effort from D-Dub. I know he's going to be stoked on that. Supite kind of in the sixth position. I'm sure not where he wants to be, winning the last two main events, but it's kind of the beauty of this Triple Crown format. Allows a little bit of grace with your results through the night. Back up front, Mr. Twister. Holding on to it for real. Solid ride. It was kind of mid-pack to start the race, but Shooter's still right there. Air Jordan in a really good spot here to really just kind of watch these guys in front of him, wait for a couple mistakes, see maybe where he can make up some time or plot a pass. Biggest thing with league racing I've always learned is, you know, it's a lot of times it's just kind of taking your time, not being too urgent, just as you would with, you know, any real life racing. It's got to be a little bit of calculated. You need to take your time, and oh my, for real, I'm gonna have to send you a warning there. Kind of stuck it to Shooter. Unfortunate for Shooter as he was having a really good ride, but still 6 minutes left in this thing. 2, 3, 4, honestly 1 through 4 right there. Yamaha bark, says Axis. Heard that, bro. You were shredding. Good shit. Mr. Twister with Air Jordan in that second spot now, kind of benefited from that that little incident between For Real and Shooter under the tunnel jump there. For Real, he just having a hard time running it in there, a little too hot, but nonetheless gets a good drive. He's going to make the pass, but Air Jordan's not going to let him go that easy. Ooh, Air Jordan launching it in the turn, taking notes from Axis there. Can't quite get all the way that deep into the turn on the 125, but appreciate the effort there. It's a little full send. Shooter still holding on in fourth. Really pumped to see that. Never like to see when a guy gets guy crashes or goes down when he's out front early. But Supite trying to work his way into this conversation here. Not quite done yet. Wants to salvage as many positions as he can. Sets himself up for a good chance at an overall. So For real is riding like Barsha, but not in a bad way. I mean, I feel that. He's got some Bam Bam energy. He's fucking tossing that thing. It's like when I saw Barsha at a Jacksonville Supercross like 10 years ago and Geico Honda blew that thing up. Love watching that guy ride. Still Twister, making it look easy out front. Plenty of time. For real's going to go down. It's going to allow Air Jordan to get into that second spot. Hopefully he can kind of distance himself and hold on and maybe even make a charge at Twister here. Who knows? Shooter into the third spot. He's not done yet. He said, don't count me out. I'm still in this thing. I think he'd be really happy to get into the second spot here. If I'm not mistaken, him and Twister are teammates, so that would be all love for a 1-2 right there. For real in the fourth spot. Supite 5th, the Audacity 6th, Tackman 7th, which is a really good ride for Tack. Stoked to see that for him. Pressure Applier 8th, D-Dub unfortunately falling back into the 9th spot. Skirt 10th, Mad Matt 11th, and Tiber 1 12th. Cool little battle at the back here. Give these guys a second. Tiber 1 trying to not go 12-12-12 here. Oh, Asen gets kicked out. Hate to see it. And there's definitely a considerable gap between 1 and 2. But close to 4 minutes left in this thing. Anything can happen. Everyone's starting to spread out a little bit, but for real, he wants that podium. Absolutely sending it. Gonna take this inside. Shooter cuts back under. That is a great move by Shooter there. For real is tossing this thing right now, though. Good clean pass. He did get on the brakes there. Good to see that. I don't think he was trying to go for takeout number 2. And he going off the track. If he could limit the mistakes, I think he'd really be up in the top, battling with Twister there. But Supite, it's going to allow him to get into the 4th spot. Now he's got a podium spot in sights. See if he can latch on. The Audacity hanging out in 6th still. Tack looking to maybe get up in that 6th spot. Not out of sight for him. Skirt 8th, Pressure Applier 9th, D-Dub in 10th, unfortunately. Mad Matt 11th, Tiber 1 still 12th. Yep, I gotta stop giving people the commentator's curse, man. I'm just gonna limit gassing people up too much when I hover over them. Mr. Twister, no worries in the world right now as Air Jordan 2nd, Shooter 3rd. Supite fell off the pace just a little bit as he lost the back wheel of Shooter there. For real, kind of settling into this 5th spot. Looks to have lost a little bit of the aggression he had early in this main event. But trying to throw oppos like Axel Hodges and Tyler Berriman. Frankie, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Not a lot happening in the back of the pack here. Still the same running order. Sorry, Pressure. Unfortunately, man, that's just part of league racing to some extent. It happens to the best of us, and sometimes, you know, sometimes this is not your night. Twister looking to ride it in mistake-free. Everyone is spaced out, but Supite not quitting on Shooter yet, wants that third spot. And Shooter's that guy. You know, I said before this main event, I think someone can get in there and shake that podium group up, make things a little interesting, and that certainly does that. Supite looked to be controlling the field the last 2 weeks. Impressive rides coming even from the back of the pack in the main in round 2, if I'm not mistaken. Apologizes. I should have gotten to warning Tiber 1 quicker. But I'm going to go ahead and warn Mad Matt and D-Dub that the leaders are coming through here. Tackman looks to have a little bit of a lag there. Hopefully he doesn't lag out late in this race. Tiber 1, thank you. You don't have to stop. Just move over for the lead group, but I appreciate your efforts. Mr. Twister, 1 to go. No immediate concern, obviously, behind him. Oh, and we got a good battle for third here. Supite and Shooter. Shooter's going to come up just a little bit short on that double, which is super critical in these 250s. I feel like that makes or breaks this first half of this lap for you as far as your momentum goes. For real, 5th, Audacity 6th, same running order all the way down the field here. So we're going to go back up to Mr. Twister. Twister, who has just put on a clinic tonight so far. Flawless to this point, really been putting that work in. Mr. Twister, main event number 2 winner, gets it done here at Indy 1. Air Jordan, good recovery here. It looked a little cloudy for him early in this main event. He's going to grab that second spot. Supite in the third spot. So that lead group still the same. Shooter tried to sneak a wheel at the end. Comes up a little bit short. For real, 5th. Got the Audacity 6th. Pressure Applier 7th. Skirt Skirt 8th. Mad Matt 9th. Tackman and D-Dub 10th and 11th. D-Dub doing a little stoppy for the fans. So fried. You love to see it. Tiber 1 12th. Awesome race there. Heat potential battle for the final podium spot. Yeah, man, that final main event is going to be absolutely crazy for the 250 class. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get 450 main 2 invites sent out. We'll be back in just a minute. We are waiting on P whatever Mike. Give him just a couple minutes here. There we go. All right. Good deal. 450 main 2. Let's get this thing started. Trying to keep time moving along tonight. Yeah, guys, honestly, let's all just keep it clean in the stream. It's all fun, man. That's the whole point of this, just have fun. Obviously, be competitive too, but it ain't gotta be like that. I've been league racing since SX3. The amount of times I've been taken out, cleaned, accidentally hit, it happens. If you really feel like someone's done you dirty, as Xerox said in the chat, we have a protest column in our Discord, or you could DM us on Instagram, and we'll do our best to make the best decision based on the incident. But let's just enjoy the racing and have some fun. 450 main event 2. Give everyone a second to ready up. Just waiting on TK Owens. All right, let's get this thing started. Who do you guys got? 450 main 2. Who's going to get it done? Obviously, Axis is probably going to have a good chance to be out front. Speaking of which, let's go with him into the first turn here on the Yama Dog. Not going to get the best jump. Is that Cheeseheads to the turn first? That is. And our man, Toxic Stench, aka R Dizzle, out front. I know he wants to make it tough for Axis. Give him a battle in this thing. Got our man PSHP Mike. Still can't say that. Goes down, unfortunately. Commentators curse again. I'm Xerox in the third spot. Gonna try to keep these guys in his sight, as it looks like R Dizzle went off track. Unfortunately, kind of comes into the line a little bit there, but luckily no one goes down. Axis is gonna start pulling away, as he typically does. Cheese is hockey. Whole shot junior. Yeah. Oh yeah. Parker, second place in main event number 1 and 4th, which is a better start than he had in main event number 1. So hopefully he can work his way back up into that spot for main event number 2. JGR Vivid in the 8th spot here. Got a couple guys right in front of him. Just trying to settle into a pace, kind of see where he needs to be early in this main event. Yoshimura, another iffy start, unfortunately. No doubt he'll work his way up, but you'd love to see what he could maybe do to get a start out front with Axis and the boys early. TK Owens 10th, Samuel YZB in 11th, Cheeseheads 12th. He's going to be way off the pace now at the back of the pack. It's going to be tough for him to catch up, but we'll see what he can do. Back to the front, you got Axis still controlling this thing. Austin Edwards in the 2nd spot. Parker in 3rd. Toxic Stench, R Dizzle in 4th. Xerox 5th. Ooh, Yoshimura's gonna slide on the inside there. Make a couple passes, 2 birds, 1 stone. Sammy YZB put the number 1 on. Oh, looks like Mike is going to cut down a little too hard there. Unfortunately, going to cost him a couple spots. Cheese still got a little bit of room to get onto the back of that pack there. Parker in control of the 2nd spot. Going to see if he can't make a run on Axis, or at least maintain that pace. R Dizzle in 3rd, trying to be patient early in this thing. Oh, and Austin Edwards catches the back of R Dizzle there. Gotta be careful. I know it was a racing incident, but that's a bummer for Dizzle. It's going to drop him back to the 6th spot, unfortunately. I know he's not too pumped on that. Pan back to Yoshi, who's trying to make a charge here. He's got Parker in his sights. He knows he can maybe make work of these guys. Kind of work his way back up into a podium spot. Salvage some points. Running it deep into that turn. Everyone's catching on to that line. Or maybe I'm just late to the game and I'm not slow. But that has just been popular tonight. It looks like everyone's sending it in there. Let's go Yoshi. Hell yeah. See our man Yoshi go to work here. Austin Edwards, who's been really impressive so far this season. Putting in a good ride on his new team, the PSHP racing team. Comprised of quite a few 250 and 450 guys. I'll have to kind of get an official list from them so I'm more aware for next week. Our Dizzle still in 6th here, trying to salvage what he can. He's going to capitalize on Austin Edwards going off track and getting reset there. But back up front, we got our man Xerex, JGR Team Fried Rider, your GP 2020 champion, making a run at this thing. But Yoshi's going to slide on the inside. Axis needs to give everybody a head start in main 3. He has been doing that the last couple weeks and still catching these boys. Definitely makes it interesting though. But being that he's running on a Yamaha, trying to get some practice in, either way it'll be good racing. Oh, Xerex kind of gets flicked. Back wheel flick there. Goes right to left. Dizzle's going to sneak up on the back of him now. If you're Dizzle, you see Yoshi in front of you, it's got to be a goal to get into that 3rd spot. Bummed you get in a racing incident early in this main, but as we say, that's how shit goes, man. JGR Vivid, better ride than main 1 in the 7th position. Kind of got some room on the front and back. No one pressuring from behind. Samuel YZB, tough go at this one for Samuel. I know he's going to be bummed. Cheesehead's 10th. Mike 11th. Sam Wow in the 12th spot. Haven't heard too much from Sam Wow in SX5. I know I saw him race a lot on SX4, but cool to see him come out tonight. Back out front. Watch the man Axis go to work here. Looking real smooth on this Yamaha. It's be a chance to give everyone a chance to kind of watch and see what he's doing here. 2-3-2 through that rhythm. Kind of gives everyone a hard time. See a lot of people triple in there, but 2-3-2 is a nice steady line. Deep in this turn, flick off the bank. Perfectly executed. Three minutes to go in this one. Oh, I even gave Access to commentator's curse. Put that on a trophy. Put it up on my mantle. Kidding, obviously, but a rare mistake from Access there. Nonetheless, still looking good out front. As we go to Parker, who's got the 2nd position locked down. Or so I thought. Yoshi has worked his way up into the conversation here. Got 2 minutes and 50 seconds to make a move on Parker. Xerex still holding the 4th spot. It looks like Dizzle might have gone down. He lost a considerable amount of time to Xerex there. Austin Edwards back on Dizzle again. They had that incident early in this main event. Hopefully Austin Edwards can be patient here. Samuel working his way from the 9th spot into 7th, but he's got his teammate JGR Vivid. Oh, a little teammate rivalry here. Sam's going to run him deep into the turn. Those guys are going to keep battling. Back up to the front though. Yoshi and Parker still going at this thing. Oh, and Parker cuts over. It looks like just a little bit. Yoshi ran into the back of him. That's going to let Xerex tighten up just a little bit. Make sure Axis isn't coming up on anybody. He is coming up on Mike. Gonna warn him. And then Cheeseheads as well. Most of the field is going to get lapped here, or at least half of it, I would say. Yoshi lost a little bit of time to Parker, but no sweat. He's going to try to recoup here, make a charge late in this thing. Xerx's going to be happy with a fourth here if he can hold this position. That'd be he's having a solid night so far. Austin Edwards and R Dizzle still battling it out back here. Oh, Austin Edwards, come on, buddy. Can't just take the line away, man. Appreciate that. Yoshi won the French ESX earlier. I did see that. Congratulations to Yoshi. Dude has been ripping, absolutely. As we watch him here, he's caught the back of Parker. Trying to make sure everything's staying good through the field here, but back up to this battle. Yoshi's going to have 2 to go to try to make a move. He's got plenty of room. Xerx's about a rhythm plus behind him. And then it really opens up into the 5th spot. Some unfortunate events for Dizzle so far tonight. I know it's probably not intentional on anyone's part. It happens, it's racing, but I know Dizzle would have liked to be up there fighting. Samuel's in 7th, but he's got those 2 in sight, so you never know. Depending on any mistakes in the last couple minutes here, Sam could grab a couple positions. Back up to this battle. I'm going to warn Mike to let him know that the lead group is coming through. Don't want to get in the way of this battle as he goes down, which kind of just helps out the situation. Yoshi is stalking Parker right now. Little mistake from Axis there. But plenty of room. Looks like Parker and Yoshi still going at it. This one's going to go down to the wire. I'm going to be interested to see where Yoshi tries to make a pass. It could be right here. No, gonna wait. That was a perfect crash lapper, you're right. Worked out perfectly. Alright. And Axis is going to take your main event number 2 win as Yoshi and Parker go down to the last second. Parker's going to shut the door. They're going to get a good drive through the whoops. Yoshi is going to get a good push. And Yoshimura gets the 2nd spot at the last absolute minute there. Parker in 3rd. Xerx 4th. Oh, wow. That was an unreal last little exchange there from the 2 of them. Absolutely crazy. Yoshimura making it stick when he needs to. Austin Edwards 6th. Samuel 7th. Not what he wants there, but still 1 main to go. Vivid 8th. TK Owens 9th. Cheeseheads 10th. PSHP Mike 11th. And Sam Wow 12th. Absolutely exciting main event there. Axis going 2 in a row, looking to go for number 3. Let's get 250 main event 3 underway. Axis is pushing the damn Yamaha so hard. Oh, dude. I don't know if you guys saw that video, but Tomac saying like a cat on carpet, bro. That's what Axis looks like out front. Just yeah. Just making it work. Making it work. Love to see it. All good fun. And we'll be back in just a minute, guys, for the 3rd main event. Alright, invites have been sent out for 250 main event 3. What do you guys think is going to happen in this one? Is Twister going to grab all 3? Is Air Jordan going to mix it up? Is Supite going to get in there? I am excited. I hope you guys are too. And yeah, guys, if you have any, any critique, if you will, of the format or what you do like, what you don't like, let us know. Ultimate goal, obviously, is to make this as fun as possible for everyone and competitive, obviously. But, we've been trying to work on it every week. We put a lot of time into getting cool content out and making everything look clean and professional. So let us know what you like, don't like, and we'll just keep on growing this thing. So, all right, everyone is in here. So let's go ahead and get main event number 3 underway. I like Twister's chances tonight, obviously, to get this third and final main event win. He's been looking absolutely great all night, but there's a couple people that can make it interesting, so I want to see a good battle at the front. Give everyone a second, as always, to ready up. Interesting bike choices in the 250 class. Gas and KTM seems to be pretty popular with everyone too, between the 125s, and the KTM has a good feel to it. Overall, I like it from the little bit of time I've spent on it. Alright, we have everyone readied up. Let's do this thing. And we are going to go on board with our man Twister. Can he go 1-1-1? Gets a decent jump out of the gate, but it actually, is that tack? Nope, that is pressure applier. Oh, and there's a big pile up in that first turn. For real, who showed a lot of speed. Some might even have said Bam Bam tendencies. Out front early in this one. Main event 3. Skirt, who's had a rough go of it tonight in the second spot, the Audacity. So you got the PSHP Racing Team out front, 1, 2, 3. Oh, as Audacity goes off early, that's going to unfortunately kick Air Jordan a little bit there. He's just kind of had a rough go at it with the luck tonight. Where's our man Twister at? Twister having a tough go, and 8th, 9th, as he's got Air Jordan, the points leader, right next to him. Back up front early, we have a couple different people trying to get away with this thing. Skirt out front, pressure applier, who's shown some good speed so far in the 250 class this season, getting better every week. In the second spot, Tack Man, our man Tack, in the third spot. Super awesome ride for Tack. One of the best dudes you'll meet in the PS4 community. Super chill, just wants to have fun with this thing. Let's see him get a good result, as we got Twister charging early, but Shooter wants his piece of the pie too. Oh, unfortunately, Tack gets absolutely screwed in that situation. Ugh. Hate to see that. Go back up front, Mr. Twister. He's got 1 and 2 in his sights. Audacity 4th, Shooter 5th, For Real 6th, Air Jordan 7th, Mad Matt 8th, Supite 9th. Supite. So your top 3 guys have struggled early in this one, but it looks like Twister is rising to the cream of the crop here, trying to charge back up to the front, but is also having some trouble. Let's check in on him. He's got For Real and the Audacity making things tough. The teammates here. Alright. For Real is just absolutely tossing this thing. Skirt, definitely a clever name. As a great man J Balls once said on stream, I don't quite know where these guys find these names, and that does hold true. But nonetheless, Skirt holding on to this thing still. Makes a mistake unless he doesn't jump onto the table in that rhythm, but that's going to allow For Real. We're going to just start calling For Real Bam Bam. Bam Bam For Real. Out front. Going to try to grab himself a main event win. Would be the first one for him on the season. Even if it's just a Triple Crown. Skirt going to run it in. That was a rough go. We're going to give Skirt a warning because he absolutely just ruined Twister's race nearly there. That's going to make things super interesting. Remember, guys, be patient. Wait to make your passes. Shooter forcing it there, not necessarily dirty. Not quite sure what he was going for there, but we're going to act like we didn't see that. Tackman and D-Dub 11th and 12th. Bummer for Tack, who was out front early and got screwed. For Real, who is in the first spot, and Supite was in 9th place 3 laps ago, and honestly it's kind of worked out the best for him. His championship rivals are struggling in the pack, and he is out front looking to grab main event number 3. Mad Matt in the 3rd spot, the Audacity 4th, Pressure Applier 5th, Air Jordan 6th, who would like to definitely keep Mr. Twister behind him. Skirt 7th, who's throwing this thing away at this point, unfortunately. Shooter 9th, Tack 10th, D-Dub 11th, 12th is Tiber 1. There's an absolute train around the track right now. And your 1, 2, 3 right now is all members of your PS at HS. Jesus Christ, guys, I cannot say that. I'm gonna stop trying. The new race team. 1, 2, and 3, but Mr. Twister is not done yet. I'm trying to draw up scenarios as far as who's going to get the overall. I know obviously it would be Twister right now just based on the running order, but this certainly shakes things up just a little bit. Air Jordan is not wasting any time trying to keep up the pace of Mr. Twister here. Level team. Yep. Just a good old tongue twister. Speaking of Twister, where's he at? 3rd place here. He's got about maybe 6-7 seconds to get up to Supite, who really is who he probably wants to catch, if anything. Supite has the best chance to spoil the overall here. Supite went 2-3 in the first 2 mains, so Twister would still take this thing, but we got a pack of wild donkeys here behind our man Twister. An absolute train. I think Twister's got a damn good shot at it. You got to think coming into this year, Twister's thinking title. I know he'd love to get one, and he's more than capable of it. But Air Jordan said, hey, I'm still in this thing. Don't forget about me back here. Supite goes down. Air Jordan is going to try to capitalize, but Twister benefits off that as he makes the move, and Air Jordan's going to kind of get caught up here. Yeah, I'm going to have to say this is one of the tougher tracks in the game, to be honest with you. Daytona's fun. I love Daytona. I'm not going as fast as y'all on it, but it's fun. Back up front, For Real. He's got some space. 2 minutes, 45 seconds to go. Can Mr. Twister charge and get a clean sweep in the first Triple Crown of the season? I think he has a chance. Supite is kind of struggling later in this main event after being up in 2nd for a bit there. You send the over-under and pray. It's so dumb. Yeah, I pray for a lot of things with these games. Most of the time it doesn't work out in my favor, but it's usually because I run out of talent. Anyhow, back of the pack here, still the same running order. Back up to the front. Let's see if Twister's making up any room. It looks like he might have gotten a second or two on him on that last lap. Air Jordan third. It's kind of settling in that third spot. Going to be tough for him to catch Twister later in this thing, but Supite doesn't want to go down without a fight. Wants to get that second overall spot on the night. The Audacity and Shooter having a battle back here for the 5th spot. Shooter's been riding well all night. Ooh, Audacity's going to hit the tunnel there. Lucky to keep it on 2. Pressure Applier hanging in 7th. Skirt leading this thing early in main event number 3. Back in the 8th spot now. Alright, here's the battle we need to watch. Still maintaining that same distance. I know Twister's given it everything, but For Real has had an absolutely stellar ride in main event number 3. Austin Edwards, you're all good, buddy. I figured as much. You were totally good. It happens. Just want to keep it clean for everybody. Oh, and For Real looks like he got the same glitch that Yoshi did earlier in the night. And that's going to allow Twister to sneak up a little bit closer. And now it's blood in the water. I'm sensing a little bit of Cooper Webb energy as someone died from one rhythm lane to the next there. Here we go, folks. Mr. Twister, he's got about a 4 to 5 second gap. Can he get this third and final main event win and sweep it for the 250 class tonight? Corey's that inside super clean, making up a lot of time. Go back up to front to For Real here. See if he's feeling the pressure a little bit. Gets cross-threaded a little bit on the tunnel jump. Still trying to hold on to this thing. This would be his first main event win in league racing. Supite and Jordan battling out for the final transfer spot. Alright guys, 1 to go. Mr. Twister sees For Real. It is possible. He can reel him in. Can he do it? For Real just needs to hit his marks. Be patient. Not think about what lies ahead if he does win this race. Just finish her out strong. Mr. Twister is right here. This could come down to a bad drive in the rhythm. Twister, you know Twister wants it. Does need one mistake, and there it is. Twister is going to... I think this could be it. Is Twister going to make the move here? Through the whoops they go. For Real gets a good drive. Can Twister hold this inside? Oh... Absolutely great race there. For Real is going to get his first main event win. Mr. Twister second. Air Jordan is going to come home in the 3rd spot. A good recovery for him. Supite in 4th. Shooter tries to run it in, but he's going to hold on to the 5th spot. Audacity 6th. Pressure Applier 7th. Skirt 8th. Mad Matt 9th. JGR D-Dub 10th. Sending it for the fans. Fuck it. Tackman 11th. Can he get a JGR Team Pride teammate here? I know they're talking crap to each other right now. And not going to be enough time. Tack 11th. Tiber 1 12th. Alright guys, so congratulations to Mr. Twister, who is still going to get the overall win tonight with a 1-1-2, and I believe it's going to be close between Air Jordan and Supite for that 2nd spot, but nonetheless the results for that will be calculated later tonight by the admin team. But let's get main event number 3 underway for the 450 class. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Alright, looks like a couple guys might be calling it a night early, but we're going to give them just another minute. Just one more minute here, see if anyone else joins. If not, we'll get this thing underway. Alright guys, gave everyone a chance to get in. We're missing TK Owens and Samwell, but they did tell me they wouldn't be making it in for this one, so let's go ahead and get it started. What's everyone's thoughts on race number 3? I've been told Yoshimura did give the second spot to Parker in that last main event. Which, respect for the sportsmanship there. I'm assuming it's because maybe he felt like he wasn't in the second spot when he crossed the line. Yoshimura will not get last, I can assure you of that. Alright, main event number 3. Hopefully, worst track of the year for everyone out of the way tonight. But it's opened up the door for some good racing. 250 class was insane. It's been an awesome season for them. On Yoshi's screen it said third. Gotcha. Yeah, that happens. I've noticed sometimes with those close calls. Dizzle hole shot. I like that call. Alright guys, let's get this thing underway. Since word said Dizzle hole shot, let's go on board with our man Toxic Stench, aka our Dizzle here. Oh, hits the gate, gets a bad jump, unfortunately. Austin Edwards, who's been the absolute hole shot king this season so far, grabs that one early. Axis, oh, scrubs out there. Gets reset in a good amount of time there. Won't lose too much time. So Yoshi out front early. Gets a bad run through this rhythm. That's going to allow Parker to sneak on the inside, as well as Austin Edwards. Yoshi gets pushed just a little bit there by PSHP Mike, and Yoshi goes off track. That's unfortunate. You hate to see it. Axis is in the back of the pack right now, in 8th place with Dizzle and Yoshi. So obviously just a 10-man field this time around. It's gonna help a couple guys out for the night, but we got a couple of our big dogs back in the pack early. Back up front, we got Parker, which, if things stayed as they do right now, not a good chance with Axis staying in 9th or 8th, but I think Parker would be your overall winner. Mike, who had a rough first go in the first 2 main events, in the 2nd spot early with Austin Edwards 3rd, and Xerox is trying to show wheel. I'm going to call that a video game stall he just had in that turn there. Looks like he kind of missed a shift or something. But going to regroup and try to mount a charge here. Cheesehead's back in 5th. Yoshimura 6th. Axis 7th. Dizzle in 8th. Samuel 9th and Vivid 10th. Samuel's had an awfully tough night. Bummer for him. See if he can make the most of it in main event 3. Yeah, I can believe that, brother. Definitely a lot of banter between those boys, I can imagine. Xerox is going to move up into the 3rd spot. Going to try to make easy work on Mike here, but Mike is riding good in this 3rd main event. Xerox is going to try to cut to the inside, overcorrects just a little bit. It's going to get reset in a timely manner, but the man Axis, like a cat on carpet. Yeah, in the 4th spot. Ooh, Austin Edwards running it in deep. And tries to hit the axis line. Not quite the same thing. Dizzle gets caught up in that madness, unfortunately. Back up to axis now. Who's in the third spot? Got around Xerox there. Yoshimura is going to try to follow suit. We go out front to Parker. Parker's got a considerable lead. If there's anyone to overthrow Axis in a main event tonight, it would definitely be Parker or Dizzle. Twister, that is indeed a really solid lap, my man. You were riding fantastic. Alright, so here we go. This is what we've been waiting for. Let's get a little battle out front. According to my calculations, Axis has approximately 6.9 seconds to the back of Parker, but who's counting? Six minutes left in this main event, so not going to be your traditional format where Axis would maybe have 14-15 minutes to catch up to Parker here. So if you're Parker, you'd love to see him put in a consistent ride, hit his marks, and try to stay out front. Dice it up for the night. Xerox back in the third spot, but we have R Dizzle on the outside. R Dizzle gets pushed just a little bit, but holds on to it. Yoshimura is going to try to sneak on the inside of Xerox here. Xerox gets pushed just a little bit, but no harm, no foul. Just a racing incident, as RC would say. We got Mike, who's still charging on the back here. Kind of catches the back wheel of Xerox, which is going to make him case that final triple out of that rhythm. But is an absolute train with Samuel and Austin Edwards. You got 6-7 guys right there. Let's look at the gap here. We got Parker coming into the turn out of this rhythm. He's probably got about 3 to 4 seconds on Axis. Axis is surely making up a little bit of time. But let's see where he's doing it. It looks to be that these guys are hitting a lot of the same lines. This is kind of a goat trail track. So, got to get creative to find a little extra time. Parker riding great out front. I was for reeling that guy in. Good little dad joke there. You love it. R Dizzle in the third spot now. I know it's got to be hard riding on a stock setup like that. Bummer his account got banned. This guy's been putting in an absolutely killer season so far. I know he's had some of his best results in a minute in AOSX and IOMA and some of those other top leagues. So definitely a really good season for him so far. Cool to see these guys come out. Hoping it draws more fast guys in. We have some bigger weeks and some smaller weeks, but we're just really pumped on the growth overall. Parker and Axis still about the same gap, maybe even a little bit more from the last time I checked. Yeah, I can't imagine either. I mean, who would have thought Dizzle would get banned? Surely not me. Yoshi in the third spot, a little bit off the pace in this one, unfortunately. Had some bad circumstances early on, as well as Dizzle, who's had a rough go tonight. Xerox still hanging in this thing. Austin Edwards not quitting yet. Oh, and they both have a mishap there. Let's go back up front. Parker and Axis. Oh, and more troubles for our Dizzle back here. Vivid is just past the finish line. Make sure that Parker and Axis aren't coming up on him. Be sure to warn them when they do. And with 2 minutes to go, this thing could be interesting. Can Axis find enough time to catch Parker? If there was one person he didn't want to get out front early, it might be Parker. Is the pattern 1-1-2 tonight? Happen to Twister in the 250 class? Does it happen to Axis here? Or can he catch Parker late in this main event? Still a considerable gap between the two. Still no changes through the field here. Gonna have to agree, if Parker doesn't make a mistake, this thing might be over. Especially with them riding different manufacturers tonight. Maybe not that same level of comfort they would traditionally have to charge. But hey, anything can happen. Let's take a run down the field real quick. Parker 1, Axis 2, Yoshi 3. Austin Edwards with a great ride in 4th. Kind of been all over the map in this one. Had the whole shot early, fell to the back of the pack. Kind of working his way back up. Shown some really good speed this season to hang with these top guys. Xerix, though, wants to pick up that position. He's had a very consistent night. Kind of been in this spot, this mid-range, mid-pack all night. As he kind of gets into tough blocks, regroups a little bit. Or Dizzle 6, who looks to kind of just be trying to be mistake-free for the rest of this one. Cheeseheads in 7th, Samuel 8th, and we have a couple people disconnecting. It's been a long night of racing, maybe some people frustrated. We'll back up to the front and check on this here. Parker in the first spot. 1 lap to go. Barring a huge mistake, it looks like Parker is going to take this one home. Plenty of room, not going to get into any lap traffic in this one. And that just goes to show you a lot of talent and speed in these 8 that are racing right now. Your defending points champion is in 8th place in this main event. Surely not the night Sam wants. He's had some good results in other leagues, so definitely capable of getting it done. You'd like to think if Axis had a couple more laps, he might have gotten a little bit closer here for this win. But main event 3, looks like it's going to go to Parker. And he is going to take it home with Axis in the 2nd spot. And quite a ways back to the rest of the field here. Yoshi 3rd. Oh, and it looks like Dizzle's going to make a last lap pass on Xerix, unfortunately. But let's see if he can't run it on the inside. He's going to get a good drive through the rhythm, going to hold the inside. He knows Dizzle's going to try to run up on the inside here. He does. Oh, and he pushes Xerix wide. Dizzle goes off the track, and Xerix gets the 5th spot. Good little battle to the end there. Cheesehead 7th, and Samuel YZB 8th. Alright, so obviously a fatigued field here late in the night, but nonetheless good racing. Axis is going to take your overall win in the first Triple Crown of the year. Thank you so much for everyone coming out. We really appreciate it. If you guys have anyone else, any other friends that are doing league racing, or anyone that might be interested, tell them to come out. We got a 250 AMs class. Obviously a pretty competitive 450 class most weeks. And if you haven't seen it already, we have a pretty sick trophy going out to each winner of each class at the end of the season. Maybe a couple medals for the podium guys as well. So I'm going to try to keep pushing out some awesome content for you guys and keep the racing fun. Thanks as always, guys, and you have a wonderful night.